Don't look for a purpose, because if you look for a purpose, you're seeking madness. If you find one, you are sure mad.
Hey, so welcome to part 2. This is the state that we're in after part 1. But anyway, welcome back to an episode of Learn With Us, where we take YouTube videos that are worth your time.
And we learn from them with you.
And we are currently watching a video that a subscriber sent to us called Sadhguru on the Purpose of Life. We've only got through 6 minutes of it, and we were just talking about the fact that we could have paused the video 3 times as many times as we did.
Yeah.
In that section.
Yeah.
And we could have kept talking for so much longer because he brought up so many incredibly huge, brilliant ideas.
Yeah.
And now we're going into part 2, so
Let's hope we're not fried.
join us for the ride right now.
Join us for the ride. Hey, we can do this.
We can do
We
this.
can do this, I think.
You're seeking a purpose as an escape from the trap that you have set for yourself. It is a trap set by you. You can easily come out of it. If the trap was set for you by somebody else, difficult to come out because they'll set the trap in such a way that you cannot come out, isn't it?
I kind of disagree because I think there are a lot of things trapping us from things caused by society that are built in ways, just like he said, in ways that we're not supposed to be getting out of.
Example?
Any example. Our education system, just like we were talking about.
The food industry,
The
prescription
food
drug industry.
But it's just like things that are trapping you. If those things weren't an issue
Yes.
externally, I don't think you're born with the internal traps that you set for yourself. I think that the internal traps are a product of what environment you grew up in.
I think he's talking about the way you come at life rather than the external things happening can be completely changed and is only locked up by you. Is the way that you're approaching all of those things that you're talking about. But I agree that there are a lot of external things that are not set up, but I feel like this has been through history that people have always tried to lock down other people because it gives them more power.
But that's recorded human history. There's
Yes.
a lot. Most of human history is not recorded, so we don't know what it was like.
Wow.
But yes, I think that's very true.
It's definitely it's a complex interweaving. I think there are traps we can free ourselves from in the way we come at the world.
Yeah,
And freeing those also helps us free the world
for sure.
around us.
For sure.
So this is a trap set by you. This is easy to come out, but that is the whole thing. Why it is so difficult is, now you're identified with the trap, you like it. You like it because it gives you a certain sense of safety and security and protection and individual identity. If you build a cocoon around yourself, it gives you safety, but it also imprisons you. Walls of self-preservation are also walls of self-imprisonment.
That was a universal bar, but I heard more universal bars the other day.
Okay.
From this artist or group of artists named Climbing Poetry.
Oh,
Recently discovered them. They're super cool.
Crazy. Yeah.
They do like poetry and rap and sing type stuff. But it was a song all about the prison system in the United States. And it was how the line was something along the lines of, they're putting our people in jail behind bars while rich people sit in gated communities behind bars.
Oh. Wow.
Trapping themselves in something, protecting them from the scary outside world while they lock scary outside people into cages.
Ooh. But then that makes me think maybe they also meant this double meaning of they're they're locking themselves in, and it is a lot like a prison, even though they don't know it.
Yes.
It's these people are trapped, and there's just so little interaction and real community, and it's just like, oh, this is all mine, that's all yours. It's just the reinforcement of private properties and things like gated communities are just like,
and that goes back to what he's saying right now, of all of these things cocooning us, trapping us from what this actual flow of the life process is that we're a part of.
When he said that, that gave me a sort of like an emotional response.
Yeah.
Of feeling like, even though I feel as though I'm moving in the right direction, I still feel cocooned in a lot of ways. And closed off to a lot of the most beautiful things about human life and what it can be.
First thing you need is balance. If you have balance, then you can climb. If you don't have balance, it's better you stay on the ground, isn't it?
I like that a lot. Makes me think of how we've talked in the past from what Sadhguru has said, the importance of having peace be not this thing that you're slightly attaining at some parts of your life, but as a strong foundation. Because I find that if I'm working from places below peace, places of anger, frustration, grief, all these lower, whatever, vibration, whatever you want to call them, things, I have to just work my way up to that baseline. But if I have that as a baseline for my life at times, then I can sort of put 2 feet on that. And like he says, work upward from there to the more beautiful places that you can attain. But you need peace as that baseline.
But somebody who is not balanced to climb high, it's best you stay close to the ground, you should not climb. So, first thing is to establish a balance, then you loosen your psychological structure. Then it's a wonderful thing. If you…
This reminds me of daily practices you can do to set yourself up in the morning for having this structure and that openness. Because if you start your day, that's why I think he has a meditation called the Isha Kriya that's free. It's just like, you can just look it up on YouTube. I did at one point in my life for 2 months straight, and at this point now I've been doing it for about 2 months again. Nice. And it's been like so good getting back to it, because it's brought back so many other memories too. But in general, every day, starting your day with this very peaceful moment, and then opening yourself up to all the possibilities of the day is as if you're opening a gift every morning that life is giving you, and it's always slightly different, but you're much more engaged, because rather than waking up and first thing scrolling on Instagram or whatever and having like 20 million cognitive thoughts, you started by being like, this is life, and now life may experience.
Losing your psychological structure without balance, which a lot of people are doing today. See, why does somebody want to drink alcohol or take a drug? Because it loosens your psychological structure and makes you feel liberated for a moment. But without the necessary balance, you have not worked for the balance, but you got freedom. Freedom without balance is destruction, anarchy, isn't it? So, first thing is to work for balance, an enormous sense of balance, where even if you dismantle your psychological structure, you can simply live here. Dismantling your psychological structure is an important process, because that is your trap, that is your security, that is your stability.
This is genius! What? Dude! The psychological thing that we identify with our whole lives is the trap that he's talking about.
Yeah.
And it is breaking from that allows you to experience all of life. In order to break from that in a way that is sustainable, you must first understand, you must do practices with your life so that this life is stable when it loses the things that it thought was itself. This just opened up such a door for me. Oh my gosh, because there's oftentimes I first started listening to Sadhguru like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I started doing dream work, which was like the first like spiritual thing that I've done like 7 or 8 years ago. And it's taken me that long to really now be able to say concretely that I know a lot of the things that I was initially reading 8 years ago.
Ooh.
Things like, you are not your thoughts. When I say that now, I know that I'm not my thoughts. And when I go about my day, I know that I am not my thoughts. But this has taken me 8 years to get to that point. And then when I'm talking to friends or whoever it is, and they'll potentially ask me something about like, oh, I heard you say something about like not being your thoughts. What do you mean by that? And then I'll like tell them a big spiel of things.
Yeah.
And then I notice that they're like, they immediately start doing the same exact things that they were doing before, even though maybe they're like, I really need some advice on this thing, and I give some advice from that point of view. I'm not saying that I'm always right or anything.
Right.
But the majority of the time, then that person would not implement any of those things. And then I would take that personally, which was another thing that I need to grow out of. But I'd be like, why aren't they changing? And then I realized, what the heck? The first time I learned that thing was 8 years ago. And only now have I come to the point where I can tell someone else about it and feel at all confident in what I'm saying. And then I'll see them a week later and be like, wait, why haven't you changed those things? Wow. And it's like, what am I thinking? And then just hearing him say that just opened that up for me. Oh my God.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
That is amazing. Coming to that realization.
What the heck is happening right now?
At the same time, that's your trap. Because the walls are set, you feel secure, but that's also your trap. If you dismantle your trap, you also dismantle your security, isn't it? You also dismantle your sense of purpose. You also dismantle everything that matters to you. So that will need balance. Without balance, if you dismantle, you will go crazy. But don't look for a purpose, because if you look for a purpose, you're seeking madness. If you find one, you are sure mad. Yes?
When he says, if you break down the walls of that trap, your security is gone. It just gives you so much insight as to why so many people don't even take that first step to breaking out of the trap. Never mind every step to the point where you're broken out of the trap, because every step you take is not going to be the easiest thing for you. You lose your security. You have to, in a lot of ways, go against society, the mainstream society, how most people are living most likely around you. You have to go against that. You have to, in some ways, like find another path and do something radical. It's not normal in our society to be freed from these traps. It really takes out any judgment maybe that you would have if you're like, oh, I'm freeing myself. Why aren't other people freeing themselves? Or judging yourself for not being able to always be doing that, because I think, judging yourself just creates more resistance and then puts you even further away from where you're trying to head. But because recognizing it is so hard. It is, in a lot of ways, very hard, because you're losing those things that make you feel comfortable. And you just find these new, more beautiful things, of course, but it's so easy to go back to the old ones. Yeah.
It's as if you had played like a sport your whole life with a certain set of rules, and then you were to find out that certain rules weren't actually the rule. You were just told that by a certain friend.
Yep.
And then the further and further you go, the more and more rules drop like that.
Yeah.
And then if you aren't stable in the thing that you are, the player of the game,
you're not balanced. Yeah.
Then you're going to get lost fast. And so many times I have, and so many times I'm sure I will, where I'll get into a spot where I'm like, nothing makes sense right now. Like, I think the most lonely times I've felt in my life were always before certain big breakthroughs.
Wow.
But it wasn't even like you could see the breakthrough coming. It was weeks of me feeling like there's like purposeless.
Yeah.
As if things would stop mattering. And I was like, why do these things that meant everything to me not matter anymore?
Wow.
And it brings you to really dark places because you're like, why do I get up in the morning?
Yeah.
And then the nuttiest thing is if you get to the end of one of those cycles, have a breakthrough and realize all of those things that you were worried about not feeling connected to anymore, it was because it was time to let go of those things. And then you drop this weight of this thing that you thought that you should be, this purpose you thought you should have, and it releases, and then you're so much lighter.
Wow.
But we don't have people teaching others how to go through that type of thing. I mean, we do, but they're not accessible enough.
Yeah, no, not accessible enough, for sure.
Because only the insane people have purpose. Or people who have purpose are insane in many ways. These are things that you create in your mind and believe it's true, isn't it? Right now, fighting for my country is my purpose. Right now, if it's necessary, I will fight, knowing fully well it's an unnecessary bloody fight. Yes? Then you will fight only to the extent it's necessary. If you think this is your purpose, you would want to destroy the whole world for what nonsense you believe in, isn't it?
Oh my God. Yo, we said at the beginning of this episode, hopefully we're not fried. Look at us. We've been fried.
I can't take any more.
Sadhguru took us to the edge of a cliff and just one finger was like, doop.
Good God, lad!
It just keeps going.
Oh my.
Okay, but yeah, what he just said.
Yes.
The idea of if you think something's your purpose, you're gonna do it until the end of time.
Yeah.
Rather than doing it the amount that you that is useful, you have to, and then becoming the next thing. Instead, we're so identified.
Yes.
With
Yes.
certain things.
Exactly.
Because we have no solid foundation, so we can't open up this. Thank you, Sadhguru, for telling us all. Hey, we can save America.
Oh yeah.
Just kidding. America's #1.
False.
There's no other purpose. The purpose of life is to live, and to live totally. To live totally does not mean party every night. To live totally means, before you fall dead, every aspect of life has been explored. Nothing has been left unexplored. Yes? Before you fall dead, even if you do not explore the cosmos, at least this piece of life you must know it in its entirety. That much you must do to yourself, isn't it?
Damn. And that doesn't mean you need to travel to every place in the world. You can find all of that in your backyard. You can do that. People have done it.
That is a beautiful summation right there. The purpose of life is to live fully.
Yes.
To live fully does not mean to party every night, which is another interesting thing because we've locked ourselves in these things. What people consider life is the weekend.
Oh.
And living for these times when they can open this up using drugs and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's because we're so trapped throughout the week that then it's like, this is the thing. This is life, because it is the most life that they experience.
Jeez.
I'm not excluding myself from that. Like I was living that for so long, you know? And
yeah.
just so blessed to have heard someone like Sadhguru and other people like him speak that opened me up to the idea that 7 days of the week is just another one of these concepts.
Yep.
It's like,
It's just this continual thing that's always happening. It's not, it's not 7 days and then it's over and then it's a new one. It's just like, it's all just happening in the present.
it's all just life.
It's all just life. What if we actually got into that mindset?
Oh my gosh. Was that his closing statement, or is there anything left?
Jeez, I don't know if I can take it.
That's living totally. That you experience the whole of this, all dimensions of what this is. You did not leave anything untouched. You just do that. That will take a long time. That's enough, good enough purpose for you.
Damn! He ended that video like this, like, woo!
He gives a 13-minute answer to someone saying, what is the purpose of life? And the whole middle way took us, what, like, we just talked about that for probably over an hour of time.
Yeah.
We'll edit it down for sure, as best we can. Sorry if these are really long videos.
Yup.
But he did this to us.
He did this to us. Don't blame us!
It's all our subscribers' fault who sent us this video. Just kidding. We love you so much.
Yeah,
that video opened up so many doors.
Yeah. That's a great way to describe it. Opened up so many doors. You never know what he's gonna go, where he's gonna go when you ask a question. That's one of the coolest things about Sadhguru is when he answers the question, he's just like, he's like over here, and you're like, whoa. I didn't know we were going there.
I didn't know we could go there.
I didn't know is that you, Sadhguru? Out in the distance.
So far away, yet so clear with your messaging.
Oh my goodness!
I feel like I need to sleep and just digest everything that just happened. But yes, I think the way that he ended that video is just too perfect.
It was perfect.
Saying the purpose of life is to live fully, to feel every dimension that this life can.
That's enough purpose for you.
And that will take far longer than your time on Earth. And be far more exciting than any other thing you can try to find.
Okay. We need to talk about this more. So, talk about it with us.
Yes.
Because I can't even get my head around like 3 seconds of this.
We need your help.
We need your help. We need to like talk about this with you.
Comment section is there for a reason.
We have some smart subscribers.
Yes.
That we need to just talk about with.
Yes.
Because that was a lot.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Much love. We're gonna go figure ourselves out.
Yeah.